well, afternoon, I think. Hi. So I am trying to record on two different feeds right now. So don't mind me if I'm fucked up a little bit or if shit gets a little bit messed up. So, again, I'm sorry if this is a little bit off today because my shit, I'm all over the place. So, sorry, trying to type something. Alright, so now that we're starting here, I went with a love reading today because that's what most people really give a fuck about. Nobody's really concerned about the rest of their lives. I'd be annoyed as shit when I be watching readings. But I decided I was going to do it today because that's a lot of shit that people want to know. So we're just going to jump right in and we'll see what happens. So the past energy of whatever love situation you have going on, whether it's current or you guys no longer talk, excuse me, whatever it was that you guys had going on, it was unhealthy. So if it was a narcissistic situation where you kept putting in and putting in and putting in and they weren't doing shit and they kept taking advantage of you and using you, it was a very toxic situation. So whatever it was needed to be let go of. Now I don't know if you guys have all released that yet, but we'll get there. Okay, so they're saying that this situation, whatever it was, if it was a love situation or a situationship, it was based solely on physical pleasure, like, sex, one night stands, whatever it was that y'all did, but it was based more on pleasure. So it wasn't an emotional connection unless you had an emotional connection and they did, or vice versa, and maybe one didn't express it but the other did. However it was basically the situation was based on physical pleasure. Whatever joy, whatever they got from you or vice versa was all that they wanted. So they're saying to do something different this time around and practice self-discipline. So if you walked away from this individual, that had to cost you something, because it's hard when you leave people that you love. Your heart breaks, you're sad, you're crying your eyeballs out, you're doing all the shit that you don't really want to do. So you have to walk away from the situation. And I'm assuming most of you did walk away from the situation, because if you would have continued down the same path, you would have kept getting the same outcome. Nothing would have changed. So practicing self-discipline is now you saying, no, this is not okay. No, you're not going to keep using me for this. You're not going to keep doing this to me. So when that happened, basically it was you guys had different priorities. Your priority was probably more focused on the relationship and on the love and creating that. And their priorities were focused on the rest of their life, everything else they had going on. So it's important when you're beginning situations, relationships, friendship, whatever the fuck it is, it's important to figure out what's important to you, what's important to that individual. So that way you guys can always remain on the same page. And when you start out situationships, we all know they all start as situations, and ultimately somebody catches feelings. And when that happens, that's when shit gets complicated and it gets sticky. And one person like running the other fucking way and the other person's chasing them like, no, come back. So shit like that happens. And, we're all human. We all have feelings. It's just some of us don't know how to express those feelings. Now, this individual, they have a hard time communicating their emotions to you. Maybe because of actions or however they treat you, whatever. Maybe they love you, but they don't verbalize it. So it's hard for them to do that because they're time fuck off and they let it all out on you. So people don't know how to speak sometimes because it's hard, especially if you've been heartbroken and you don't want to let anyone else into your heart. You don't want to tell someone, I love you, and let's see what happens when you've already experienced so much heartbreak. Hi, Micah. Good morning, Beth. How are you doing? Well, afternoon. I'm sorry. I'm in my mind. It's morning somewhere. um, so this individual, they'll communicate, but they communicate better if they're pissed off. Like if something triggered them, that's when they'll communicate. They don't communicate well about emotions. Now, they're saying that it's time to release and embrace new possibilities. So, whatever it was that happened in the past, it's time to let that go, because some people hold on to it. And for some of you, it was a friends with benefits situation. But understand that everything, we are a mirror. When we deal with people, they're mirroring us or we're mirroring them. There's something in them that we see within ourselves, even if we don't acknowledge it. So, when you're married with these individuals, you get to see yourself clearly as long as you're aware that other people are our mirrors. If you're not aware, then you're just like, oh, this is a fucking asshole, and why the fuck are they doing this? And da 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 da. So when you're actually fully aware and you know that you're mirroring that person, it's easier to say, okay, well, they have these qualities. And sure enough, you probably have the same qualities because something drew you to that individual. But when you guys are together, it's like you're both, maybe you just see the bad and you're just like, oh my God, I want to fucking punch this person in the face. Look at yourself and see what is the same thing you have inside you, because that'll help you to resolve this. Because the situation, this is all past. So you guys were mirroring each other. And there was one of you wanted commitment, the other one didn't want commitment. The other one was more afraid of commitment because they don't know what the result is going to be. They need to know, like they need to have that certainty as to this is going to happen this way and it's going to work out and it's going to be great. And they weren't okay with just taking things as they came, just taking it one step at a time. And again, the energy can be you, could be the other person, however it works. But it's like they knew one individual wanted commitment. They knew that what at some point that's what they wanted, but they were too afraid to go into that. So they were very indecisive and very attached to what's the word I'm looking for? Their past heartbreak, the things that they've been through in the past, the things that destroyed them, whatever those things were, they've been holding on to it. They have this strong attachment to the pain that they've experienced, which is preventing them from, well, it was preventing them from coming into the blessings or whatever it was, because they're showing that this was destined. Whatever happened was meant to happen the way it happened because it's destiny. Girl, I feel you. I've been the same, mostly down, but I'm working on it. That's why I haven't been on here. I just haven't. I've been struggling. I haven't found it inside me to be on here doing this. But whatever this was, this partnership, I got the 4 wands a few times throughout each process. So this is someone that either you had a family with, or you knew from a childhood, or they are a soulmate to you, because this is something that is destined. Okay, so whatever this partnership was, it was meant to happen. You're not crazy. You didn't make the shit up in your head. And they still think about the things that you've said to them. And they want you to forgive them, whether or not they say it or admit that there's something fucking wrong. But they do want forgiveness for their actions towards you. And they want to take back the things that they've said to you that maybe weren't so nice or hurt your feelings or broke your heart, or you know what they did to you. But it went from, being a friends with benefits situation, and that individual needs to have control in order for things to happen however the fuck they want it to happen. There has to be some form of control. So as long as they were in that place where they had to be stern and kind of cut off and distant from all of this, is how they functioned. That's what they did. But in doing that, they kept themselves bound. The 8 of Swords is like you're keeping yourself in prison for no reason. You're holding yourself, you're keeping yourself there, when all you have to do is really open a door and walk out and allow life to happen. So that was their biggest issue. And both, I don't know. Someone was feeling oppressed by a relationship or a marriage, or if this was a third party situation, it was something that had the press that left them with a deep heartbreak. It's something that made them feel very small. So whatever it was that broke them down, it made them feel really bad, and it caused a lot of heartache for them. So again, if you were married, they were married, both of y'all married, third party, however the fuck this is for y'all. But that's the past energy. If this resonates with you, then obviously it's your story. Girl, yeah. I try to be positive. Life is life. So I try to take it as it comes. Be like, and the hits just keep on coming, and you're just like, no, fuck you. I don't want to be bothered no more. But a lot of the issues you guys had from the past was lacking communication. You know, they didn't, or you communicated, they didn't communicate, however it was, but it was the missing communication that caused this to end up the way it is now, because I don't believe you guys are speaking right now. But that's what it was. That was mm, I don't know. That's what made things more complicated between you guys. Now, currently, the energy that you guys have is worry if this individual is going to come back to you, or if they're not going to come back to you, what the fuck you're going to do, what you're not going to do, a series of fucking everything. So understand, when you worry, it's not conducive to what you're trying to manifest. It's not conducive to your life. It's not going to get you anywhere but stress the fuck out, shitload of gray hair, maybe even bald headed, depending on where your stress levels are. But it's necessary to try to find a way to come back to peace, find a way to get out of the worrisome state, so that way you can bring in what you're trying to manifest. And we can only bring in the things that we're trying to manifest is by being joyous, by being happy, being childlike. Let those things go and be open, because they want you to be open to love. But like I said, when you experience a shitload of heartache, especially like one after another, and their failed relationships or whatever the fuck's going on, I know it's hard to open up your heart to people, because fuck, nobody likes being hurt. We all go in with the intent of, this is going to be great. I'm not going to hurt this person. Hello, RB. Thank you. Hello, Phantom. How are you doing today? So we all go into this with the intention of not being hurt. Nobody wants to hurt. I don't want to hurt you. You don't want to hurt me, but life happens. This is why it's important to ask the important questions. Have you healed? What have you gone through? What are you still dealing with when you meet individuals and you decide, this is my person? This is the person I want to spend my life with. Because in doing that, it eliminates all the bullshit, and it also helps that individual grow, and it helps with your growth, because whatever you experience was your catalyst. It was your trigger for you to begin your path. It was your trigger for you to wake the fuck up. It was your tower moment as to, oh, I need to set boundaries. I need to set standards. I need to have these things in place so people stop taking advantage of me. So when all of these things kept happening, this is why. Because you kept allowing that individual to use you. You kept allowing this individual to walk all over you. You kept allowing all of this shit to keep happening. So life happened. You guys stopped talking. Now that you're not talking, it's a moment for you to reflect and grow and realize that it's important to have integrity. It's important to have self-love. It's important to care for yourself more than you care for any other individual in this fucking world. And I know it sounds fucked up, especially if you have kids, but the reality is, if you don't take care of you, how the fuck are you going to take care of somebody else? How are you going to love somebody else when you don't love yourself? Okay. So currently the energy between you guys is, you guys have this desire, this passion. You probably have a very strong chemistry towards each other. And that's kind of like, even though you haven't spoken, you still feel the connection. You feel the draw between you guys. You feel that. So be honest and be truthful with yourself. Okay. Be truthful with every person you come across, because as long as you stand in your truth, you're always going to get the best outcome. But if you're full of shit and you're hiding stuff and you're keeping stuff to yourself, even not sharing your feelings is you being inauthentic. Okay, because authenticity comes from you being honest and speaking your truth, regardless of how anyone else is going to take it, however the fuck they're going to feel about it. Everybody's not going to. Not everybody wants to hear I love you. It really depends, but you have to move forward. You have to allow these things to be, because that's how you grow. That's how you learn. That's how you allow things to change. And whether it's you or the individual, sometimes it's easy to be misunderstood. And for us, it's interesting because I look at things as upbringings are very different. If I grew up in the hood and I meet someone that grew up in the suburbs, naturally they didn't experience the life I experienced. They didn't suffer the things I suffered. We didn't grow up in the same fashion. We didn't have the same lessons, nothing. Everything's totally different. So for me, it's easy for me to just flip the fuck out. And this individual is, it takes them time. You know, they're patient, they want to communicate. So if you're dealing with that type of energy, understand it's because of the upbringing. You know, everything isn't always going to work out the way we want it to. And if you don't ask and communicate with this individual to say, hey, how were you raised? You know, were you an abusive household? Were you not allowed to speak? Were you not allowed to say how you felt or feel your feelings? And some people weren't. And even as adults, they still don't know how to fucking communicate. They don't know how to get past that. They don't know how to heal that. And those are the things that need to be discussed. This is where you're at now. Like, this stuff needs to be healed. Whether it's you that communicates and maybe you're not understood correctly. And I do this a lot myself because, again, I'm very private, so I don't like my whole life on fucking blast. You know, unless I'm sharing something to benefit someone else, I don't want people in my business. So when I speak, I give them what's necessary, like the absolute. You need to know this. That's all you're gonna know. I'm not telling you shit else. But other people spill their whole fucking life out. And there's misunderstandings when you don't communicate effectively. So when you have these misunderstandings, it's very important to get out of that emotional space. Because when you hold in these emotions or you're operating out of emotion, that is why things get bad, is because you're operating from a temporary feeling. You know, our feelings don't last forever. Like, one minute we're happy, next minute we're pissed off, then we're sad and crying. It's all temporary. It's like the fucking weather, you know, it comes and it goes. You just feel it and allow it to flow. As long as you hold on to it, it's going to be toxic. It's going to be bad. You're going to keep bringing yourself down and bringing in these situations that are not beneficial, you know. Not that they're not beneficial, because you always learn something. We're always learning. But nobody wants to keep going through heartache, you know, and it's important to heal your shit before you jump into another relationship. You can't just keep hopping from one to the next because, I mean, you can, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy because you're bringing all of that baggage, all of that toxicity, all of the fucking heartache from all of that shit to this person that hasn't done anything to you, to this person who's trying to just love you and be there and be supportive of you. So really, you have to do a lot of self-reflection and figure out what your triggers are and where those triggers develop. And sometimes it is childhood. It's a lot of shit from childhood that we forgot about, and we're like, that shit don't affect me. Believe me, I've said a lot of shit didn't affect me until I'm a grown-ass individual now, and I'm like, yeah, I get triggered by a lot of things, and I don't realize it at that moment, and I really have to sit with myself and like, why did that trigger me so much? And sometimes it's daddy issues, sometimes it's mommy issues, sometimes it's just I grew up in a fucked up household. Like, it really just depends on what the fuck you've been through. So if you and this individual are still not talking, they're still watching, keeping an eye on you. They're still admiring you. So whether or not you know this, or the person that's stalking the other person, however this is for you, they're not saying stalker, they're admiring you. So unless they are crazy stalker, then run the other way. But right now is a time for just kind of waiting and letting things be. You know, if you guys had a falling out and things just went really bad and you haven't talked in a little while, let things calm down, especially if one or you or both, everybody's fucking hot-headed and has something different to say. Allow things to calm down, because if you try to approach this individual when they're pissed off, it's only going to make the situation worse. And you don't want that, especially if you want them to come back. There is love between both of you, and you know that there's love, because it was destiny. This shit's meant to happen. It's just lessons. And if you're more advanced in your learning, if you're like, okay, I'm already on my spiritual path, I've been working on healing, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and they're not, it's going to take forever. You know, it's going to be hard because you guys have to be in alignment. You know, your energy has to be the same. You can't be up here and they're vibing down here and expect to have a good relationship. It's going to be bad. You guys have to be vibing at the same level. Okay, so that's what, again, the communication is important. And if this person can't communicate, just know that they're really sad about the distance between you guys. Okay, This isn't something that they're enjoying, and whatever happened, the argument was probably just it was the heat of the moment. Whatever was said was just very in the moment. So allow the time, to get over shit. If you're the person that's like, nah, fuck you, I ain't talking to you no more, cool, because that's how I'd be. I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna leave you the fuck alone, don't talk to me. But if this is an individual you want to end up with, set your intention. And when I say set your intention, it's okay, I want this person in my life. So I'm not going to start a relationship with another guy. I'm not going to go date 5 different people. Whatever the hell it is, set your intention and be patient. And I know it's hard because I don't have patience. I know a lot of people don't have patience, especially when it's something that hasn't even been verbalized. So understand that when all of these things occur, you need to wait because spirit is working. So that means maybe you've learned your shit. Now their karma is hitting them. Now their lessons are coming through for them to come back to you. So don't be so worried about it, and don't be so stressed out about it's never going to work. It's never going to happen, because as long as you're in that energy, it's never going to fucking happen. So just focus on yourself. Like, I find that, okay, I'm stressed out on this, on that. Is what can I do to improve myself? What can I do to create more self-love? Sometimes it's working out. So yeah, okay, let's go to the gym. And then that makes me feel better. Let's pick a fucking art class. Let's pick a music class. Whatever it is that's going to help you find self-love, self-confidence, to make you feel better about yourself. Focus on that instead of an individual, okay? Because that's going to help you get through this. Because as long as you're focused on that, you're going to create more resistance because you're attached to the outcome, to having this individual. So you have to release this. And I don't know if it's you or the other individual, but it's like one of you is planning, you're strategizing on how to approach this individual or come back to this person after the falling out that you've had. And I'm sorry, throat chakra really needs to be worked on. Like, I keep getting like this every time. Excuse me. But yes, please, throat chakra, important. Work on that. But yeah, it's important for you to trust your intuition because there is love in this situation. There really is. And when you watch readings and you're on YouTube, Facebook, wherever the hell you get your readings from, understand they are collective readings. So whatever resonates, whatever doesn't. But also, you always have to trust yourself. You can't go with, okay, this individual told me this, so I'm going to go do this. No, because they're doing a collective reading. So while it does resonate, it does not mean that that is the best course of action for you. Always trust yourself in whatever decisions that you're making. I don't care what the fuck I tell you. Trust yourself. Because right now we have 3 major arcanas, and that's just for the present. So whatever is happening right now, you don't really have control over. This is all divinely guided. It's happening in divine timing. It's happening the way spirit wants it to happen, because they're showing that you need to be strong in order to manifest the life that you want, okay? Because that's where your fertility, your abundance, your everything is going to come in from. You have to find a way to tame the monster in you, the monster in the other individual, whatever it is that gets you guys like this. You have to find a compromise. You have to find a happy medium to make that happen. And I know it's hard for some people because some people have never had long-term relationships. Some people never learned how to fucking compromise. The list goes on. But important when you're dealing with people that you love is to find a balance, to say, okay, well, I don't fully agree with this, but I'm willing to meet you halfway. That's when the ball starts rolling, okay? Because they're trying to get out of the place of fear and be authentically them about you, and they miss you. It's just that time they weren't ready. So, for me, when my life was very chaotic and I had all types of shit going on, my focus wasn't on love. My focus was, okay, I got to get my house together. I have kids. I got this. I got to get shit straight. So your priorities are different. And this is where it becomes important to understand where people are in life, because some people are business and they're like, okay, I'm starting my business. I'm working on this. I'm trying to create this. So if they're not communicating that, it makes it harder for you to actually understand that. But if you do talk and you say these things, hello, lucky stars, how are you? You're able to communicate. You're able to say all these things, and it'll clear up a lot of misunderstanding. But people are so afraid to speak because of the way we grew up. It's, oh, shut up, I wasn't talking to you. No, stop crying, you can't do that. No, I don't want to hear your shit. And that's ingrained in us from the small little kids. So at some point, that is our psychological response, is to shove the shit down, because nobody told us it's okay to cry. It's okay to express your feelings, or maybe they expressed them before and they just got all the way shitted on. It's just how things happen. So if people are not in a good situation, like mentally, financially, emotionally, they're not going to be in a good situation to start a relationship with you. Okay. So right now their energy is they weren't ready at that moment in time, and they're still working on themselves. Okay. Which is taking a lot of courage and a lot of strength on their part, because they're working through a lot of shit right now, and they're learning how to trust their inner guidance to get to the abundance that they're trying to reach. Okay, so again, it's you or the other individual, you know how it resonates, but they're showing me the Four of Wands, which is really, I look at it as soulmate energy. It could be someone that you've known from a past life, however this works, because I have that. I have the freaking Six of Swords and the Ace of Cups all together. So this is all current energy for you guys. So movement is going to happen, but it is happening at a very slow pace, and I'm sorry, but they are going to come with an offer of love. It's just going to be more on their time frame than yours, because they're still working through their emotional shit. And you know what they've been through, because I'm sure you guys have conversations. So if you're able to see and be like, okay, I understand why they're like this, or and if you don't, then be like, maybe this is not my person, because right now is a lot of shit that's ending. So if you were in the what you call it, the marriage, not marriage, 3 people, 4 people, 20 people, however many fucking people it was, there are endings and beginnings. So maybe they're getting divorced or you're getting divorced. And don't look at these things as bad, okay? Because with every ending, there is a beginning. And some things that are not meant for you are taken from you because it's protecting you from shit you have no idea of. And you're going to get blessed, okay? There's blessings that are going to come into you. So don't feel bad about not being with a specific individual. What's important is the soul, the interior. Is this person loving? Does this person care about me? Is this person going to have do what's in the best good of our relationship, not just be selfish and be about them only. Selfishness is okay to an extent, but if you're trying to be in a relationship, it's important. You have to have a balance, okay? So try to see where you're at now with this individual. And like I said, if they haven't talked to you, you don't need to talk to them. Chill out, let them calm down. They will come back around to you. I promise, okay? Just give it time. And if it's been like 10 years, move on. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that, okay? Because right now, some of you have a spiritual life purpose, whether you know it or not, or you're still at the beginning phases of it. But understand that we are all spirit, we are all energy, and we are all love. And that's what we come here as. We come here as love, not to hate, not to fight, not to belittle, because that's not the energy we're born with, okay? So future energy is trying, slow down. You need time to rest. You need time to recuperate and get your chakras aligned, mind, body, soul, emotions, whatever it is. And they're saying mistakes are going to be corrected. Whether, again, you were the one that fucked shit up in the past or they fucked shit up, mistakes are being corrected on, right now at this time. Well, in the future, they're going to be fixed. So don't stress. It's going to be okay. It's going to work out. They're saying connect with crystals. I pulled out a few crystals, but I'm gonna save it for the end because I got to read it out the book because I don't have all of them memorized. It's a lot of damn crystals that I'm not sure of. But there is a rebirth of the situation that is coming. So hang tight. I know if you're lacking patience, I understand. I lack them as well. But you have to own your shit. So if you were the individual that fucked up the relationship or did something fucked up and you haven't owned your shit, you need to make amends. Say, I'm sorry for this, or I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry, whatever it was. You have to step up and say, I acknowledge that I did this, and this is the part that I had in this situation, and apologize. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. We all fuck up. We're all human. We all do a world of shit that people don't even know about, that we're probably ashamed of. Be okay with owning it, because The only reason anything or anyone ever has power over us is because we feel ashamed of something that happened to us. For what? It happened. You can't change it. You can't, there's no point in dwelling on it because it's literally a moment. Once the moment is past, you're never going to have it again. So don't dwell on fucked up shit. Stay focused on the present. Own your shit. Say, okay, if you can own, damn, I just got a fucking award. I did all this wonderful shit. Same way, oh, you need to own, oh, well, you know what? I did treat that person like shit. I did cheat on them. Own it the same. Okay. As long as you own it, you're being authentically you. And whoever you're dealing with, they're either going to love you and accept you or they're not. And understand, everyone is not for you. So some people do come to us and it feels like it's a forever situation. And it's not. It's a lesson that we need to learn. It's something that we need to see that we haven't seen, that we've missed. Okay. So I'm sorry, my throat. Feel good about what's going on. You know, try to find the good, the happy, those things with you right now. Okay. Because if you're, again, if you were in a relationship where there are children and other things, this, you guys both have to have your self-esteem in a place where it's good to bring in a family dynamic. It's good to blend the family, because if you guys are very at odds, it's going to be toxic in the household. But when this person comes back to you, it is going to be like a magnet. I'm sure you already know it's like magnets. Very strong chemistry, very seductive qualities, and it's going to be awesome. So be okay with all of this. Be okay with being patient right now. And I know it's like you're waiting for fucking Christmas, and it's like, I'm so excited. I can't wait to open my presents. Just wait. Hold on. Don't kill yourself right now. Just hold on. Okay? Because when we are like children, when we approach things, again, I say this a lot, you go into it as like with a childlike mind, because children are curious. It's rare that you see a kid wake up and they're pissed off about yesterday or the day before or fucking last year. They don't think about that shit. They get up, they live their life. They're like, oh yeah, I get to go play. I get to do this. I get to do that. And they do it every day. It's the same shit. They don't dwell on anything. And if we all learned how to not be in our feelings so much and not be in our heads so much and just go with how life happens, it would be a lot smoother, because everything is synchronicity. We only control us. The universe controls everybody else. So when everybody else is like, okay, I'm in position, I'm in position, I'm in position, then everything falls into place. If everyone's not in position, shit's going to be crazy. We're going to be waiting because people are dragging ass and they're like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So literally, like, I had started a book. It's called 5 Seconds. 5 seconds, you make a decision. That might not be the title of the book, but it's something along those lines. So literally count down, you know, you have 5 seconds to make a difference in your life, because literally it's only seconds between this decision and the next decision that can alter your life forever. So look at how you spend your days. Look at how much time you spend in thinking, how much time, let's say, oh, well, hey, do you want to go out tonight? You know, and your first response, honestly, your intuition will be like, no, or it'll say yes. When you sit there and you allow these things to just keep on replaying and going, cycling in your mind and cycling, and you're like, well, I don't know, should I give this person another chance? Your intuition tells you immediately. It's just we don't listen to it. Try listening to it and then say, okay, well, yes. And that's the thing I found. I signed up for a fucking play, and I'm very introverted. I have social anxiety. I have a list of shit that I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I fucking did this. But at the same time, I look at my life as a why not? Because I'd rather say, yo, I can't believe I did this shit. It was fucking crazy, but it was mad fun. Or I could have died, and be older and be like, oh yeah, that was great. Than sitting there in my fucking 80s and my 90s looking back at my life like, I wish I would have done something different. I wish I would have went and did this. Don't have those regrets. Take the fucking risk, take the chances, take all the fucking chances. Just say, I'm going to do it. Literally say, okay, I have 5 seconds to make a decision. Even when you're getting your ass out of bed, say, okay, I'm getting up now. Pop up, because once you start making that a habit and saying, okay, within these 5 seconds, make the decision. Because then it's a split decision, you're moving, and you're doing more on intuition as opposed to allowing your brain to get the best of you and fuck up your thought process. Because a lot of that's where our anxiety comes from, is thinking about the future, thinking about this, thinking about, it's not necessary. Don't focus Focus on now, because what I've noticed is the more you focus on here and now, the more present you are, you're not worried about the future because you're enjoying life. You're enjoying every moment because it's the only time you're going to have these moments. They're never ever going to come back. You might have similar moments, even if it's the same fucking routine every day, it's never the same moment. And you have to appreciate the good and the bad, because when you're older and you can't do all the shit you can do now, and you can't make the same decisions and live life the way you want to live it, that's when the regret's going to set in. That's when it's going to be like, damn, I should have done that. I should have taken that risk, but I was so afraid. I didn't know what they were going to say. I didn't know how they were. Fuck that. Fuck everything. Say what you want to say. They take it how they fucking take it. They good, bad, whatever. Do it. Take the fucking risk. You'll be grateful for it later. I mean, I haven't done the play yet, so I'll let you know how that goes whenever that's done. But there is a balancing act that's taking place. So that person is trying to center themselves. You're centering yourself. The spark that you guys had hasn't left. It's never gone away. Like, in their heart, it's always there, and it's always going to fucking be there. But it's like, both of y'all are like this. Y'all like, you can't get to my heart. I can't get to your heart. And how the fuck are y'all going to have a relationship? How are you going to have love? How are you going to have anything if nobody wants to take the first steps? If nobody wants to say, okay, I'm afraid, but I'm willing to take this risk with you. Because no decision is a permanent decision. You could say, I want to be with you. You spend fucking a month, a week, a year, however long. And then after that time, you're like, you know what? This was not my best choice decision. I regret this. And I'm going to go over here now. But there's always something to learn in the fucked up relationships. But understand, you have the power to walk away. Okay. And a lot of us that get into situations, we become codependent and we forget that we have the power to walk away from these fucking things. And people don't, because we're like, oh no, we're afraid. And now what are my in-laws going to think? Or what is this person going to think? And how am I going to do this? Fuck all of that. Move from your soul and say, okay, I'm not happy. I'm constantly anxious. I'm constantly sad. Something needs to change. Take the fucking action. Do it, because you're manifesting your life with this individual. Now, one of you have money, or both of you probably have money, but I don't know. But in the manifestations is you guys are going to be abundant together. Okay, so you guys, and you're coming together, whether or not you two are business minded, you guys are very business like, and you work well together. So allow this to happen, allow time to take its time because it's necessary, but understand that there is going to come a beautiful outcome. They're showing there's a lot of memories of love. And again, this is the Six of Wands, excuse me. And the new abundance and prosperity is going to begin. You just have to find your spiritual strength to kind of hold out for it. Because like I said, when we get to these places, I don't normally sound like this all the time. I promise you guys. Hey, Janine, how are you? I'm working on getting better. I really am. So either you or the other individual believe that you guys are very different. And it doesn't mean that you guys grew up very differently. Maybe you guys have very different belief systems, because like I said, suburbs, hood life has a whole nother code than suburban life. It's two very different things. So the type of individual that you're dealing with, that might be something that's holding them back, is just like, how is this supposed to work? We're very different individuals. But everyone has some type of commonality. We all have something in common. Everything might not be perfect, but we all have something in common. But you guys always come back to each other. So whether or not it's, if it's been ongoing from childhood, if it's been back and forth the past 10 fucking years, however it is, you guys always come back to each other. You find each other. But at the time, it's just easier for you guys to maintain the distance. So you guys will be back together, if things continue as they are now. If you decide I'm going to go talk shit to this person, or they're going to come talk shit to you, and then shit's going to go left. So everything it's energy, but everything is our free will. So if we are taking actions to start a relationship with someone else, then naturally this is not going to progress as so you have to decide where it is for you. But clinging on to the past, if they hurt you or they cheated on you or vice versa or whatever happened, you have to release that. Now, if you're in a toxic, abusive situation, don't fucking do that. You fucking leave. Don't go back ever. Don't fucking go back. But for the people that are not going through that, trust yourself, okay? It's important for you to find your center. And why are you holding on to the past? Like, what is it about the past that you cannot let go of? Like, was the sex that good? Was their personality that awesome? Like, were they just that sexy? Like, what exactly is it about this individual? Or is it a real soul connection? Like, when you seen this individual, your soul just recognized them. It didn't matter. It didn't even make fucking sense as to how do you love this person. Then you know, okay, this is my person. But if you're holding on to this individual because you're like, oh, they were the most gorgeous individual, or this had, or whatever other stuff y'all did, I don't know. Understand that there's always more people. There's always going to be more situations, whatever it is. You can't have the comparison. When you compare, that's basically you're not satisfied. So if you're looking at your life now and you're comparing it to a past relationship, a past person, a past house you had before, past fucking car you had before, that means you're not satisfied with your life at this moment. And it defeats the purpose of finding joy. Okay, so in order for you guys to have this, you guys have to let go of the comparing. Okay, whatever it was, that's what it was then. Whatever it is now, that's what it's going to be now. And whatever it is in the future, that's what that's going to be. So you have to release the past, because as long as you guys are holding on to it, that's going to hinder this shit from moving forward. But again, yeah, I really think this is it's a soulmate, it's a twin flame, it's your true person, whatever name you want to go by. This is your individual here, because they are showing future. You guys are coming together. Probably, what month are we in? April, May, fucking March. I don't know my days. Don't be mad at me. I want to say around summertime. So for some of you, this will take place anytime between now and the summer. Others of you may, it's energy. So some of you might be going through this now. However, it's progressing for you. But believe me when I tell you, because here we have the Two of Cups. And then we have the Lovers. And we have the King of Wands. Now, when I look at these cards, I see two people that are meant to be together. There's a lot of passion between you guys. And regardless of, there's a person on the masculine side. There's someone there that's trying to keep him from you. Him, her, whoever has a masculine energy. There is an individual that's trying to interfere in this connection. But you guys have this connection that it doesn't matter what's said, what's done, whatever the fuck it was, you guys, this is what's going to happen. You guys are going to keep coming back to each other. And again, some of you have children and some of you might have children once you guys get back together. And if you were in a situationship, then this will be your first together. But those are the messages. I hope they resonate with you. Now, chakras that came out for you guys to work on. We have the root chakra, the sacral chakra. What's the other one? We have the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. Those are all chakras that require your attention right now. I found plenty of stuff on YouTube for healing. Tried wearing different colors to help you. There's a lot of shit on here that I found helpful. Now, they gave me 5 crystals for you guys. Where is this book? So let me see. We have pyrite. I actually have this one. I don't know if any of you guys have it. But my little book here. So for pyrite, inherent view, knowing your worth, self-appreciation, genuine abundance, and prosperity within. Okay, this is what this card's for. Now we have moonstone. I also have that crystal. One day I'll show you my collection. It's intuition, insight, inner wisdom, and inner voice. It's very important, especially when you're dealing with relationships and you don't know which way to go. And like I said, it's important to trust yourself. Don't trust all the other people that are running their mouths and saying this and saying that, because It's not their journey, it's not their life path, it is yours. So most people are miserable and haven't healed their shit. Don't allow those people to intervene in your life, in your relationship, and what you're trying to create. Okay? Don't do it, because you're the one that's going to be 10 years down the road like, damn, I should have gave that relationship a chance. Why didn't I do that? Don't beat yourself up. Okay? Take the fucking risk. You can always jump out at any time. Moldavite, this crystal is expensive, so, and make sure it's authentic if you do buy it, because there's a lot of fake ones running around. Transformation, rebirth through fire, initiation, and opening to new experiences, revitalization, and renewal. So that'll be great for you to bring about the renewal, the rebirth of this situation. Sorry, we have two more crystals, and then I'll stop harassing you guys. This one I can't even pronounce. I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Don't judge me. Spessartine Garnet. I don't know. You guys, you could tell me if I said it fucked up. Charm and charisma, shining and sparkling, being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others. So that's that one. And then the last one is carnelian. It is a pretty crystal. It's very like an orange color. Now, this is increased confidence, dignity, poise, and self-assurance. So these are all wonderful things that are going to help you. Now, I'm going to do angel answers. So if you guys have any questions, ask them as I shuffle, and I will pull out 3. So I will pause in between so you guys can figure out your questions. So focus on your question now, and as I shuffle. All right. So whatever your question was, unlikely is the first card. I'm going to pull 2 more. So if you have any more questions, focus on the question. And I'd like to give you a couple seconds to think about it, because I'd be like, wait, I don't know what fucking question I want to ask. I had 10. I know. So focus on a question. There's going to be another card that's going to jump up. This one says wait. So again, that's been the theme. So don't rush. Don't rush anything that's going on. Don't rush it. And your last questions, if you're looking for an immediate answer, let's see what we got here. Oh, damn. All right. I normally don't. Oh, shit. There's 3. I'm going to read them to you, but I'm going to put them back in the deck. It says, let go, you're ready, and in the near future. But I'm going to put it back because I only want 1. And if one of those are meant to come out, they'll bring it back to me. So okay. Oh, here we go. This one's better. It says no need to worry. Okay. So hopefully those answered your questions, and hopefully I gave you some clarity and was able to help you guys in whatever you got going on. I will be back on here again. Like I said, I'm still trying to work shit out. It's a process. And right now I'm on YouTube and on Facebook Live. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being there for me. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good day. Thank you. No, nothing wants to turn off. Have a good day.
Good morning. Well, afternoon, I think. So I am trying